Jorgensen, the second seed from Denmark, should be a cracker. Then following that, Ville Yang from Finland against Sun Wanhao, ninth seed. Do stay with us for that. We're awaiting our players. So we're right down the very bottom of the draw now then. Jano Jorgensen occupying that second seeded spot, as all second seeds do, right down the very bottom. You can see that Milan Ludic is through already with a good win over Marius Meyer. So he awaits. He had a win 21-18, 21-19 through in straight games for his berth in the round of 32. He'll be watching keenly, no doubt, back in his hotel room, I imagine.
Well, we're actually seeing players arrive from one of the adjoining courts. That is Höskinen of Sweden, who will be playing against Wang Zhaming of China. That will be on court number 2, but we await the players on court.
So looking forward to this one then. Our players are just about to come to court. Court officials are already on court. Service judge and umpire there, ready and waiting. Should be a cracker, this one. The second seed, Jano Jorgensen, 27 years old, against the Thai player, the talented Thai player, who's been as high as 4 in the world. 6 years his senior at 33 years of age. And here comes Boonsak Ponsana. And following him, the Dane, the great Dane, the big, great white European hope of this World Championship.
This two players vastly experienced in world terms. For Boonsak Ponsana, this incredibly is his 10th World Championship. It really is astonishing, and he missed 2007 because he was playing in the World Student Games, because he is, of course, still studying to do his finals, I understand, to become a lawyer. He's a very clever young man, is Boonsak Ponsana. Delightful man as well. He's almost sort of a father figure for the rest of the Thailand team.
Disturbingly for him last year, he lost in the first round to Scott Evans of Ireland. He had to withdraw after a game or so. So that was sad. And the year prior, he lost in the third round to the man who he's playing against today, Jano Jorgensen. Met 10 times indeed, but we'll come to that in a while. But the Bangkok resident, 33 years of age, been as high as 4 in the world a couple of years ago now. He's currently ranked 27th. Stands 1.78 m tall. And career highlighted by 4 finals in Singapore Super Series. Back in 2007 and 2012. In the Olympics in Athens 2004, he came in 4th. Just missed out on a medal there. And Beijing 2008, the round of 16. Been the member of the Thai national team since 2008. so far he's played 13 tournaments since losing here last year. Turning our attention to Jorgensen. Well, what a legend he is. Reigning European champion in 2014, Kazan. Second seed here, of course. Thrice Danish national champion, and currently as well this year, the winner. And in 2014, of course, he was the first European man to win the Indonesian Open. Remarkably, they've met 10 times, these two. Jorgensen, 9-1 up, as you can see in the head-to-head. And the last win for Boonsak Ponsana was in 2008 in June. Seems like a long time ago now, Jill.
Yes, I'm sorry, Paul, I'm going to have to correct you there. Yeah. Last time they actually met was in the Super Series finals of 2009 in the group stage, and Boonsak Ponsana won on that occasion. And I know exactly what's happened, because that result is not counted on the database because it wasn't a world ranking event. The first two Super Series finals that ever happened in 2008 and 2009 didn't carry world ranking points, and therefore they don't show on the statistical information, which, you know, is a little odd, because it was a major tournament. And of course nowadays the Super Series finals is a huge event, and it's the culmination of all the Super Series. So it's one of those little anomalies that just show up now and again with the database.
Yeah, exactly. So and of the other 8 wins that Jorgensen had over Ponsana, he's taken him to deciding third game 3 times. Played twice this year, China Taipei and in the All England Open as well. So it's going to be a tough ask for the Thai player, it really is.
Ready?
But that said,
Ladies and
of course,
gentlemen,
it's the opening match for
on my right, Jorgensen.
the seed.
And on my left, Boonsak Ponsana.
Very tough first round encounter, you'd
Boonsak
imagine, for
Ponsana
both
to
of them.
level play.
Very interested, Paul, to see how Jorgensen deals with the pressure of being the number 2 seed. He's never been seeded as high as this in a World Championship previously. Last World Championships, of course, he was the number 3 seed. He was the number 9 seed in Guangzhou and the number 11 seed in Paris. His opponent has been seeded prior to this year in the previous 8 World Championships. So, you know, they're 2 players who've been at the top of their game for a long, long time.
Quality from the off, then. Should be a real sparkler, this one. Yeah, so last year, Jill, as you're sort of suggesting, he lost in the 3rd round, did Jorgensen, to Chu Tianchen.
Yeah, he had to retire injured. Yes. He hurt his knee, and I was commentating on that match at the time, and it happened quite early on. And I have to say, I kept saying, well, when did it happen? Because, you know, I didn't see him collapse in a big heap on the floor or anything. I mean, it was all a little odd. It must have been a little twinge, but the twinge didn't go away, and it was so sad for Jorgensen. Playing his home event, he struggled on and tried to keep playing, but it was nonsense. He obviously couldn't move.
It's horrible watching a player in that state, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really frustrating for him and the fans alike. Look how quick he was to pounce on that.
Service over.
A little greedy with the drop shot there.
4.
Just 2 points between them then from the off here. Second seed with the marginal upper hand.
Service over. 5-2.
Well, he looks a little disappointed, doesn't he, Boonsak Ponsana? It is very, very early stages. Goodness, Ponsana is playing quicker than I've seen for ages. Oh, my goodness! What reactions
was reflexive brilliance, wasn't it? What a super get.
3-5.
Look at that. Both men really alert from the off then. Just testament to how much it means to them to do well in a tournament of this stature.
Yeah,
well, as we thought, the drift just catching it.
4-5.
Oh, yes.
Service over.
It's interesting, you know, Ponsana is one of those players that I'm sure every other player in the draw looks at and hopes to avoid. He's a remarkable player over the years. He's played in 24 international tournament finals, but he's only won 7, and that just about sums him up, because he is such a hard worker. He gets through, beats top players, but in the end, because he's having to work so hard round after round after round because of his style of play, eventually he gets worn down, and it always seems that the final is just one match too many. You know, but in the early stages, every player will have looked at this and said, I hope I don't get Boonsak Ponsana.
Well said, Jill. Pearls of wisdom from Jill Clark. Wonderful to hear those insights. It really gives the crowd and everybody listening a really great perspective, Jill. I love it.
Oof. There it was in. Well, Jorgensen struggling to see the giant screen, looking through the adjoining court and through the
Challenge unsuccessful.
lighting that's
Service over.
illuminating
5-6.
the adjoining court.
Jano Jorgensen, 1 challenge remaining.
Well, at least he can see the funny side of it. Just a little bit of joviality then with his coaches courtside.
Yeah, it's well taken.
He read that situation so quickly, didn't he? Just got up to that net really with rocket-like speed.
7-5.
Yeah, and I think that because of the drift, we talked a little bit about it last night, Paul, about how a player can really afford to, from this near side of the court as we look down, that's another beautiful angled shot from Boonsak. They can really afford to really hunt the shuttle at the net, because they know that if their opponent lifts with the drift, there's a strong possibility it might go long. So here stays his ground. That's a great lift, though, from Ponsana.
Also, it's interesting in the women's singles matches prior as well, from this near end, very, very difficult to kill the smash.
Yeah.
You know, because the drift is kind of blowing onto you, although it's very subtle. Makes quite a significant difference. Not such an issue with the men.
Yeah, he's giving that clear a lot of height, Boonsak Ponsana.
Good play. Jano Jorgensen quick to hunt down those short, low, flatter shots from his opponent.
6.
Almost it's something that was talked about prior to the match with the coaching team, you'd imagine. They leave no stone unturned, these professionals. There'll be the post-mortem after the event as well. Oh, wonderful smash. Didn't he get behind that quickly?
Ah, that's good. Really good play from Jano Jorgensen. My goodness me. That was pinpoint accuracy. Yeah, he's clever. He's Boonsak. It's not allowing Jorgensen to really crowd the net too much. There's another one, just bowled and flicked over his head.
11-6 in the ball.
It's a really quick-thinking match, this one, isn't it? Both of them are really having to have their wits about them because there's thunderous pace at times and huge changes in pace as well, which suddenly they think they can lull their opponent and then just rip up the speed, ratchet up the levels.
Well, I'm sure Jorgensen will be pretty happy with his man with this 5-point advantage at the mid-game interval.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
The Thailand coach is such a character. Coach Udom. Udom Liang Pechayapon, to give him his full name, but just known as Coach Udom.
Glad you said that, Jill, not me.
11-6.
It's a real mouthful, isn't it?
Play.
Oh, look at the disguise on that. The reverse slice from Boonsak Ponsana.
Just pronated the wrist from in to out, didn't he, and took the pace off.
7-11.
Gorgeous.
Look
Like
at
you
that.
say, he's a bright thinking man, isn't he? And that goes to for his badminton as well. Indeed, they both are.
Okay,
You don't
thank
get
you.
to 2 in the world without being like that as well. Janne Jorgensen, what a competitor he is. Playing off his career high.
Play. Service over. 12-7.
You were mentioning Boonsak Ponsana, 4th in the Athens Olympic Games. I can't think of anything worse, a worse position to finish. You're so desperately close
13-7.
to an Olympic medal, and if you've reached the semi-final, you've been dreaming of winning gold. And the very next day, you have to come out and try and salvage something. Desperate bronze medal playoff matches, they really are. And I can speak from personal experience, not in the Olympics, but in Commonwealth Games. Yeah, oh, it's just long.
It's a great leave from the second seed, just to extend his lead now. He's doubled the score of his
14-7.
opponent. So certainly a sparkling start for Jorgensen. A little bit of a shank there from Ponsana.
15-7.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really surprised about his tactics, Boonsak Ponsana.
Boonsak.
I always think of him as
Boonsak.
a player that steadily and in
Do
a
not
very
throw your sweat, okay?
calculated
Yeah, better
manner will try and
put-
outmaneuver his opponent using all 4 corners of the
Quick.
court. He knows that because of the conditions, he knows because of the drift, he probably can't do that here today. And he's playing faster, more aggressive style than I think I've seen him for probably the last 8 years or so. So it's a little bit alien seeing Ponsana play this way for me watching. He's going for winners early on like that, and part of it may be the fact that at the age of 33, he doesn't want long runners
7.
anymore. You know, he knows that Janne Jorgensen is probably one of the fittest players, if not the fittest player in the world. And therefore, you know, he's not going to outlast him. You've got to play some winners.
And there was a point testament to what you were saying, Jill, regarding the fitness of Janne Jorgensen. I've seen no
17-7.
man quicker to close the net down than him so far in this tournament. Although it's still early doors, only the second day, but he is like a rocket.
Four.
I guess back to what you were saying, Ponsana there just trying to sort of change his game style a little bit because, you know, with that head-to-head of 9-1 against him, well, it speaks volumes, doesn't it? He knows he's got to do something radical to get past his opponent today.
Oh, that's clever. Change of angle on the low serve. Oh, missed it this time.
Just a little over-anxious.
But it proves your point about
Service over.
closing down the net, the
8,
follow-up
8
after the smash. Yeah, it's a pity we didn't see the smash as well, because looking at the movement back in court and the transfer of the body weight to then mid-air come back and move forward is just a joy to watch with all these top players. It really is. Oh my goodness, complete mishit.
Just checking the racket to see that he hadn't broken a string there, because he kind of shanked it up near the edge of the frame rather than the sweet spot, which is a rarity.
I think it actually came off the frame.
Yeah, very unusual.
Yeah.
Still, he's not changing his racket, but he gives it the death stare. He's done that a couple of times now. Brilliant to watch.
9.
Comes inside the
19.
shuttle, so disguised.
Service over.
So it brings up an abundance of game points then for the second seed. Who mercilessly converts at the first time of asking then. He's got all the answers so far. Second seed looking comfortable now. 21-9 in next to no time at all.
Very, very impressive from Jano Jorgensen. Sharp from the start.
Thank you. Forgot to
And
press
even
the
a
button.
complete change in
Thank you,
tactics from
remind me.
Boonsak Ponsana. Not doing any damage to the #2 seed. Yeah, there he is. He's so animated, isn't he? Coach Udom as he talks to his players. Yeah, look at the difference in the body language of the two coaches.
You spoke of Jano Jorgensen's sort of, you know, probably disappointment seeing such a tough first-round draw against Boonsak Ponsana, but you know, what with that head-to-head record, in a way you think, well, actually, he probably is quite confident quietly. But again, you wouldn't want to see him in the first round.
No, exactly. You're absolutely right, Paul. He's got such a good head-to-head record. You know, you're going back 6 years since he last lost to Boonsak Ponsana. He's probably the only man in the draw that was quite happy with meeting him. But most players, you know, he is the sort of player, you know, I can't believe that his... Well, I can believe it because he's had injury problems. His world ranking is far better than 27 Ponsana. Far better.
Watching some of the highlights then, and play will now resume. Second seed, a game to the good then. 21 points to 9. For me, the real standout feature of his game at the moment is his ability to just pounce all over that net. Might change now, there's been a change of ends. And hopefully, from the Thai player's perspective, a change in his fortunes.
Good rally. Now, this is the sort of style I was expecting from Boonsak. Yeah, just calmly using every inch of the court, push him to the back, bring him forward. It's too quick.
Do you know, Jill, it's interesting because I think that's just conducive with the fact that the drift is blowing, you know, down the court, isn't it? And towards us, and as a consequence, Jano Jorgensen can't quite close the net down. He has his base position possibly being a little further back, am I right in saying? As a consequence?
Possibly. I mean, I'm going to be interested to watch that as this game progresses, but certainly in the opening game he was really closing down the net, and he possibly, you know, I think I think the important thing about the change of ends is that Boonsak Ponsana, now hitting into the drift, is going to be able to use the back of the court more, which he wasn't able to do in the opening game. So here we are. This is his normal style. Push his opponent to the back, bring him forward, push him to the back. Opening game, Boonsak Ponsana was going for winners, going for attacking shots that, you know, quite simply isn't his normal style. But obviously he said to himself, the conditions are such, I have to go for it. There's no point trying to rally with my opponent. I won't be able to keep the shuttle in.
Yeah, what a turnaround there, though, almost from the second seed. But then the body blow that just soon finished the point.
2-1.
It's exactly what you were talking about here, wasn't it, Jill? You know, the high clear followed by the drop shot.
And of course, the drop shot will hold up more because it's played into the wind, and therefore Jorgensen has got to stretch that little extra bit more to retrieve it at the net position.
One.
Well, it seems, although it's early doors, second game, there is a slight swing in the orange-shirted man's fortune. A long way to go yet, though.
Yep. 4-1.
Found the back line.
Service over. 2-4.
Oh, goodness me. Service error.
Quick. Service over. 5-2.
Yeah, perfect. The deep push to the round the head corner of Jano Jorgensen. He hits in a downward direction because he doesn't want to clear because it might go long. Boonsak Ponsana is waiting for it and just guides it across court.
Yeah, he's much happier at this end, isn't he, Ponsana? That's very, very apparent.
Yeah, I think all the men's singles players would rather be hitting into the drift, hitting against the wind. Because then you can start using the back of the court. Okay, he's hit long there, but you've got options.
Service over. 3-7.
From the end there, where Jorgensen is right now, really, you've just got to hit everything in a downward direction.
Found the line. 2 in a row from the second seed then. Can he build from here?
4-7.
Desperate to reduce the deficit and still retain control of this one that he had in the first game so emphatically.
Oh. There we are again. Cross court. Block to the smash.
Such precision with the drops from Ponsana. Really nice silky hand skills. Making Jorgensen stretch every sinew to just stay in the point. That's got to take its toll in the end, you'd imagine, on the day. And although it's still the tournament's very young, of course. But
okay, thank you.
So a 4-point advantage for Boonsak Ponsana. Things looking good second game.
Just wide.
Service over. 5-8.
Oh my goodness, round the back.
Well, that was just audacious from Boonsak Ponsana, but he got his comeuppance in the end.
Yep.
Is that 3 in a row for the second seed?
7-8.
Yes, indeed it is.
Change.
4-8.
Quick.
Here's an interesting thing. These are two of very, very few players on the
Okay, ready?
circuit who have beaten both Lindan and Lee Chong-wei. Not many of the players can boast that, I can assure you.
Absolutely. I think he missed that because he knew Jorgensen so fast at closing, and it pressures that drop shot to be even tighter to the net.
Yeah, it was a good net shot, wasn't it? Yeah, and again. Good
5 in a
net.
row.
Yeah.
It's great work from the second seed, really focused.
Jorgensen, he wants to change.
Now, while he's changing the shuttle, before hordes of people start emailing in saying Jill Clark's off her rocker, she's got wrong information there, given duff information, which I often do.
Nonsense.
But I will just explain that the victory from Boonsak Ponsana over Lee Chong-wei, again, does not show on the database, but it was during the Asian Games of 2010, the men's team competition. And it set up Thailand's victory over Malaysia in that event. But like the Super Series finals, when these two men met each other in 2009, it doesn't appear on our database. So just in case anybody was thinking, right, well, that Jill Clark has got it wrong again.
No stone unturned for you, Jill. Well done. Very thorough. So he does well to snatch the momentum back, even temporarily, does Ponsana, because Jorgensen was on a bit of a tear there. Quality return from the purple-shirted Dane to draw level.
Oh, that's nice. 3 back to the same place. And then in for the kill. Oh, I might challenge that. Yeah, I would. Well done. Boonsak Ponsana, there's the challenge.
Interval.
It was called out. My initial reaction was that it was in. But wasn't it interesting the way he hit 3 drop shots to the same place? There's the challenge. Well, we wait for Hawkeye.
Where's the beating heart?
Oh, of course, if... Oh, now that's interesting. The scoreboard has already given the point.
Court 1, 20 seconds.
Well, they've not had
Court 1,
well,
20
he challenged.
seconds.
He put his hand up to challenge.
And it wasn't like he was too late either, so...
No, he challenged straight away. What on earth is going on? Well, he hasn't taken the challenge.
Strange.
Well, that is absolutely extraordinary. We didn't miss Hawkeye making a decision, did we?
No, we certainly didn't. No, I was watching the monitor. Definitely not. That's really odd.
Play.
Perhaps the umpire didn't recognise that he had gestured for challenge. That's all I can think of.
Oh, normally it comes up on the scoreboard that the challenge has happened, and that's why I was remarking that already the point had been given to Jorgensen. They were going to have a mid-game interval, whoever won the point, because it was 10-all, but...
12-10.
That's a wonderful length. Well, we've seen all the last couple of days, so many of those just hanging and just spilling over the back line. Not on that occasion. Lands plumb on.
It's very, very difficult when you're at full stretch to really control those lifts.
13.
And that's why Boonsak Ponsana, I think, is playing so many cross-court blocks, because he's really trying to stretch Jorgensen. And as I say, then it's more difficult for him to control the lifts. Let's go wide. There we are again. That's exactly the same. Full stretch, you see, more difficulty to control the lift or the push.
Yeah, despite the peak physical conditioning that Jorgensen has, even he can't control that end range.
Service over. 14-12.
So Jorgensen has definitely come to terms with the far end. And is once again, you feel, just starting to get his opponent in a bit of a headlock. Although this man can play more akin with his natural game style from this end.
Yes. 15-12.
There we are. There's the cross block, and again.
Oh, beautifully done. A look from Jorgensen then, as if to say, I don't really want to engage with you at this stage, thanks. Well, that was divine, wasn't it?
It's clever. Well executed, but very, very clever play.
Oh, he's made it, and I thought that was out, so
did I.
He's going to go for a challenge, and rightly so, Jill. We're looking right down that line from our commentary position.
This time, quite clearly, the umpire has indicated to Hawkeye that they need to adjudicate. Oh, I'm not so sure. I was with you at the time, but it was definitely out. But looking at that again, that's why we got Hawkeye.
Oh, we were on it.
Yeah.
It was out. What a turnaround in that point then from Jorgensen. He was under a great deal of pressure. The man who has deception in abundance, Ponsana, just spilling wide.
16-13. play.
Well, to me, that looked like a bit of a desperation shot. That looked, I know it was only a net shot, but that looked to me as if that was a tired man thinking about that.
A get-out shot.
Yeah.
Service over, 14-17.
They all count. Luck of the gods here with that dead net cord.
Service over, 18-14.
Pressure building on this man now then. And he's really up against the wall. It's now or never, frankly. He's found the line again, and it greeted with a roar from the Dane.
19-14. Yep. Service over, 15-19.
2 points away then from round 2, Jan Jorgensen, and an opportunity to pit his skills against Milan Ludic from the Czech Republic. Oh, that's clever. Literally millimetres shy of that one, the Dane.
19.
That's clever again, isn't it, Paul? It's tantalising. He invites his opponent because he's slightly sort of makes the low serve just a little bit loose over the net. In other words, saying, come on, hit it at me, because I'm ready for it. Oh, nobody would be ready for that.
That was thunderous, wasn't it? Bone-crushing power in that smash. Brings up 3 match points for Jan Jorgensen, the second seed.
Oh my goodness. Second service error. When you just had your first match point. Good. Oh! What a way to save match points.
19-20.
He's delighted in his own way.
Well, you have to think this may be his 10th and last World Championship for Boonsak Ponsana. No World Championships next year in Olympic year. He'll be 35 by the next World Championships. He's giving it all.
Jan Jorgensen, though, gets it on his 3rd match point. What a match to watch. Fabulous, really entertaining. But the second seed safely home to round 2, despite that banana skin of a match in this opening round here in the Astora Stadium. The crowd are delighted. They know he's a lovely man, and he is as well. A well-earned win for the Dane against a very, very dangerous opponent.
Yeah, and whilst Janno Jorgensen deserved the victory, I'm delighted that Boonsak Ponsana, who's such a lovely man, that he acquitted himself so well today. I know the scoreline suggests in the opening game it was very one-sided, but Boonsak Ponsana, I doubt if we'll ever see him on a World Championship court again, and he really has done himself and the sport proud over the years.
So after 37 minutes then, just confirmation, the second seed through in straight games, 21-19, 21-9, 21-19. Just to tell you then that we will be bringing you the last match of the day, the 14th match today. We started at 9 o'clock local time in the morning. So here we are, Liang, the Finnish player, currently ranked 50th in the world, up against Sun Wan-ho, the 9th seed from Korea, ranked 9th as well as seeded 9th here. So what a day we've had here so far in Jakarta. 22nd edition then of the BWF World Championships. Just awaiting our players for the last match of the day. It's been a really great atmosphere. We've seen some terrific badminton. Just to remind you, we're right down the bottom of the draw again, was where Janno Jorgensen was posted and came through. He will meet Milan Ludik, as we said just earlier, for those of you just joining us, the man from the Czech Republic. But, just up above that is the match we'll be attending, Liang. A couple of slots above, but they will meet Janno Jorgensen should he win again in the third